I've been a YouTuber for the past 2 years, and after doing everything wrong, I finally got my first check. Here's how it happened. April 1st of 2022 is when I started my YouTube channel, and my very first video was this. I'm on my way to SeaWorld Orlando to record some POVs. I don't have a GoPro, so I'm improvising. See you guys there. That was a bad idea. I made it very clear from the beginning what my niche was and what I wanted to do. A YouTuber that focused on roller coasters, travel, and just everything involved around the amusement industry. At the very end of that, I said we were gonna do daily quizzes, POVs, and coaster chats. All three of those things I don't do on the channel anymore. Let's start with quizzes. In the very early stages of my channel, I had a thing called Q-Line Quiz. This was a daily quiz that I uploaded every single day. It was always focused around roller coasters. They didn't get much views. Some people actually strangely really liked them. I hated making them. I hated doing that daily upload. I hated having to scrounge the internet for facts on roller coasters and theme parks and images of all the stuff. It was a tedious process and I hated every moment of it, and that's not how you should start your YouTube channel. POVs, on the other hand, were another thing I hated creating. I wasn't inspired to go and record someone else's creation. There's no creativity behind that. The only creative vision is the guy who designed the roller coaster. And so even though my best performing video is a roller coaster POV with like 50,000 views, I don't know how. You will not catch me publishing roller coaster POVs anymore. Now, coaster chats. This is something we did a long time ago in the past. This was an idea where me and my dad talked about stuff within the theme park world. And if you guys know me, I'm not the best at being informational. I didn't do any research, so I kind of just said stuff. It never really made sense. And this is where I get into how I started doing things wrong. Because at the very beginning, the 3 types of videos I was making were videos I did not like making. But the coaster chats reached a pair of eyes that I would have never expected it to reach.
It leaves me a little lost as to what's going on here. Like, I'm not sure exactly what's happening, like we're talking about.
If you're an up-and-coming YouTuber, you're familiar with the channel vidIQ. They're an informational channel for up-and-coming YouTubers to help YouTubers get off their feet, to give advice on how they reach success, really to just share all the tips and tricks and ins and outs of how YouTube works. They're a super helpful page if you're a young YouTuber like myself. vidIQ every week does a channel review live stream where small channels like myself can send in their channel, they go through, and they criticize it. So naturally, I wanted some eyes on my stuff, especially the eyes of what I saw as pros. And they found my video talking about the new roller coaster over in Georgia that was being built, Air Force One. Will this be Georgia's new best roller coaster? Air Force One might just be the best coaster in Georgia. I'm excited, dude. Air Force One is testing.
I know. I didn't think it was going to be testing before the new year, but here we are before Christmas and it's running. I think Fun Spot is awesome.
Dude, no hate to Fun Spot. I cringe looking back at this video, and I think they cringed watching it. This was their reaction.
Yeah, it just kind of left me a little confused as I'm trying to figure out what am I watching here.
I found them a little bit hard to understand what they were saying. I don't know. I just found myself lost.
I think it just kind of twisted my brain like a pretzel. I can comprehend that a theme park I've never been to before has a new roller coaster. Like, all of that is very simple for my brain. But somehow, in watching their intro, that concept became the most confusing thing ever.
I was spitting out so many words like Air Force One, Fun Spot America, Six Flags, Georgia. People know what Georgia is. But the point was, I was saying all types of roller coaster stuff. So I mean, if you're into roller coasters like I am, you might know what I'm talking about. They had no clue. They're not roller coaster enthusiasts. They don't know what Fun Spot Atlanta is. So instead of reeling them in the first 30 seconds of my video, I pushed them away by confusing them. So eventually I dropped the roller coaster chats, the POVs, and thank God I dropped the quiz. But I started making something new. May 18th, I published our first time at Peppa Pig theme park. And this is where I got a rush of inspiration to create something I never thought I would be creating. I quickly fell in love with the idea of being a vlogger, but my issue was I didn't know what my style was. And I was trying to be someone that I was not. I was trying to be slow-paced and informational. My biggest inspiration at the time was a YouTuber known as PC Dad. And he's incredible. He does what he does great. I was trying to be him, and it did not work for me. And I vividly remember, after that Peppa Pig video did well, I went to my favorite theme park, Busch Gardens, Tampa. This is where I had my breaking point ripping off PC Dev. I made it one vlog and then I hated my style. I went to this theme park, I tried to be informational. I was right there outside of this theater. I pointed my camera at the sign of the ice skating show and started reading off all the times, telling the viewer the times of the ice show and all the information behind this summer event that they were hosting. And for some reason, I just couldn't spit out the lines. I look at my dad and I told him something needed to change. And that's where I picked up the birth of my editing style. But the turning point was July 4th, my July 4th in Tampa video. See, I was inspired by another creator for this brand new editing style that I was picking up. I didn't execute it nearly as good as he does. Nowhere near. That's why I don't edit like it anymore. I was inspired by the Urban Rescue Ranch. He has such a fast, high-paced, high-energy editing style, and I found his videos so exciting. I still do. They're hilarious. And I copied his style for the next 11 vlogs I made, but still, something didn't feel natural. I wasn't myself. I wasn't creating. I was copying. But then I took a completely different creative turn. The YouTuber that inspired this, I'm sure you're all familiar with. It's Casey Neistat. And this is where I made the video We Crashed Her Live Stream. And it was also the birthplace of The Loop. I'll be honest, for the first couple videos, I was a Casey clone. I was a ripoff. I wanted to copy his cinematic style, but deep down I admired his boldness to create. I loved the fact that he called his videos movies. And so I started calling mine films. And so like Casey created his own movies, I created my own films. I finally had my own creative vision. Then I started doing more research, exploring other YouTubers, finding other inspirations. Dan Mace, Ryan Trahan, but I still mixed in the humor of the Urban Rescue Ranch and the informational side of PC Dev into this to create what was Zooter Loopers at the time.
Wow.
And it was going great. I was loving creating. I was actually creating. I wasn't ripping off some YouTuber. I was taking inspiration from every single corner of the internet, creating something that was genuinely me. The Loop began on January 26, 2023 with the video We Crashed Her Live Stream. There's so much wrong with this video. With the title and thumbnail alone, it doesn't tell you anything. Why would anyone care about us crashing this girl's live stream? The person whose live stream we crashed is our friend Crystal, and the fact that we kept her almost a secret in the thumbnail and title was so dumb. And Crystal, I'm not using you for views, but if I had put her name in there, that alone would have gotten at least more of her audience to be interested in my video about crashing her live stream. Putting titles like this was just not a winning format. The worst part is I did it multiple times. These lamb lollipops taste like, or I left Florida for Aspen. So many flamingos. There's nothing to gain from watching that. It also wasn't the only thing that was hurting us. From January 26th all the way to September 3rd of 2023, I made my life so much harder than it had to be with just one thing. That one thing was The Loop. Throughout the 2 years of me being a YouTuber, the one thing I heard all the time, non-stop, no matter where I was, no matter who was telling me, no matter what their video style was the first 8 seconds of your video need to grab the viewer to stay for the rest of it. And with The Loop, I did exactly the opposite. The Loop is my series of videos. From episodes 1 through 39 of The Loop, I made every single video start where the last one ended. And so one of my best performing vlogs when I toured the Rocky Mountain construction facility in Idaho, seeing how they built roller coasters, it was a great idea, it was a great concept. The first 8 seconds started with me getting picked up from a friend in his car. That tells the viewer nothing. Immediately, people are gonna lose interest. I did that for all 39 of those videos. I needed to reassure my viewer that what they saw in the title and thumbnail is what they actually clicked on, that they're actually gonna get what they clicked on, instead of showing them a clip of me getting picked up from a hotel. And so from episode 39 to episode 56, I stopped doing that. I was happy with the 2 types of videos I produced. Theme park videos about all the new cool stuff in theme parks, travels, all that fun stuff. And then there's the lifestyle videos, stuff about me getting my first car, or me talking about getting a job, or when I got a new puppy. And so even though I did everything wrong, I still got monetized. And I just got my first check from YouTube. I ripped off other YouTubers' styles. I stupidly titled my videos. I did not prioritize grabbing the viewer's attention in the first 3 seconds. It's easy to look at the negative and see everything I did wrong. What's easier is seeing where I am after those 2 years. And I got my first check, so let me do the big reveal finally. I know that's what you're all waiting for. Drum roll, please. I don't know why I'm building up so much suspense. I made $100. It's not much compared to the amount of money I've put into this between broken camera equipment, plane tickets, gas, and time, and annual passes for theme parks. I've spent so much money, but I finally made $100 of it back. And so I can't wait of January 2025 so I can share how much money I made. Just hoping it's more than $100.